Sorry, everybody. Please just tell me we're getting sound because I screwed it up again, and somehow I was putting it on private, so no one was seeing it, but it acted like it was streaming. So, good job, Dan. Um, Welcome to Crazy Kids Food Live. I'm sorry if you waited around 9 minutes to no effect, but I'm here now. Brandon, please tell me that you can hear me, so that I know that I'm not doing the exact same thing I did last week. So eventually I'm going to have this down. This week we're doing store displays, and as you can see by the whole setup, I've let me check this real quick. No. I hear you. Okay. We're doing store displays. So I'm going to take off these headphones because I need to walk around. We got sound. We got everything. We got store displays. We got the big shot of the room. We're going to start off with the big guns. This is the Funny Face Tart and Tangy Thirst Fighters store display. It is a beast, as you can see. It is gigantic. It's two-sided. This one is still in the original shipping box, which is how I got it in the shipping box. Also, I apologize for the sound today. You're going to get the creaky floor. You may get helicopters, but at least it's happening. 7 characters, 3 characters. I don't know, 1967. It's a giant two-sided thing. This pops up and is an awning. This would have gone over the giant a giant rack where all the Funny Face packs would be. It's enormous. I can't pull it out because one person can barely handle this on their own. So we didn't get that for the Funny Face episode, but we got it for this one. I'm gonna, as you'll see as we go along today, I'm gonna be moving stuff around. So there's gonna be clomping, there's gonna be rattling, there's gonna be everything. Here's another baby that didn't make it to the Hostess Cakes episode. Good God, this thing is ginormous. It's really weird because it's kind of on this waxy cardboard. I have no idea how I even got this. I probably bought it off eBay, and it came in a gigantic box. That's the thing about store displays, is a lot of them are gigantic. And so, as I said, I have a full closet full of them. So I had to unpack the entire closet. This one's really cool. This is like a KFC sign. Really beautiful screen print. There's the kernel, there's the bucket. This one's sad because it got broken in half at some point. So I did a little repair job on it. But this baby's pretty sweet, pretty enormous. Very cool. Very, very cool. Bugs Bunny Kool-Aid. Look at this one. This one is, what is this? Like 5 feet tall. They also made a Vacuform one, and this one I think was probably attached to the back of one of the Vacuform ones. This is the last one of these I have. They did these a number of times. They're really quite fantastic. And as you can see, they're gorgeous. But as I said, with store displays and that kind of stuff, as you see, I'm going to walk off the camera. They're so damn gigantic. You can't have them all out at one time. Most of them hang out in the closet. This one, TV football this Saturday. Get free lineup sheets here. Another Carter Service KHQ. I'm guessing this was from a gas station. That's my guess on that one. It's a gas station one. Turn this a little bit that way. Oh, this sign is wonderful and gorgeous, and it is beat to hell. Get your free Lassie wallet from Campbell Soup. This one's cool. Two-sided. Both sides in terrible shape. And that was the thing about a lot of these signs is they would end up in garages. And what happens in garages? Uh, Rain. This is one of the craziest of all signs. This was I think I had like this whole this whole kit, and so this would you would have used this to form a giant archway in the grocery store. Oh, that's another thing. I'm gonna have a hard time seeing chat, so sorry about that. And you know we got Sugar Bear on there. We got So High. We got the genie from Sugar Sparkled Flakes. We got the Postman, and you know we got two of these. You know, so there's two of these. Plus there were all these other little tiny signs. All these other little tiny signs, and that's the one thing about one of the other things about the store displays is I'm not getting to everything I have. We're starting just with the big stuff. We're gonna try and get through as much of the big stuff as we can. It might be 2 shows worth of big stuff because there's a lot of big stuff. But we're cruising through it pretty good. So we'll hopefully get to a lot. Maybe I'll slow down and talk about things a little more. See, now we're getting to a more manageable size. You know, I can actually hold this and we can get a good look at it. Grandma Moses, who was the first real big primitive artist. So she was, I think she just was out in the middle of nowhere and she printed these really simple paintings and became really popular. So this is like a late 50s post-serial premium. You know, this beautiful die-cut sign. You know, it has like some, you know, this is unused, so it has some folds. You know, you could fold over these edges. But somebody found a bunch of these. So these signs, not very valuable, but, you know, god damn, it's gorgeous. Beautiful, beautiful painting. Here we have another post sign. This one's sad because someone went and laminated it. Yuck. But they probably you know, thought that was a good idea. So they did like a really crappy job of laminating this poor, beautiful die-cut sign for marbles. You know, there's lots of marble collectors who would love a thing like this, but it's kind of been ruined. And once you laminate something, I don't think there's any way to get it out of there, which is really, really sad. And now, see, it's dusty. Join the Slim Set. Here's this beautiful spy woman with her spy radio. And it's for Hollywood diet bread. Okay, because women need to slim themselves, I guess, back then. But, you know, this is beautiful James Bond era piece. You know, not die cut in any way, but, you know, really, really cool. And, oh, this is a fun one too. Peter Pan peanut butter. And, of course, Peter Pan peanut butter wasn't Disney affiliated. And, of course, this one, you know, we're missing the lower half of her. But it's really cool. You know, beautiful photo of a woman in her outfit. And this they would have just propped at the end of the aisle. Sell peanut butter. Really neat. Here we have Canada Dry. Come over into frame a little bit. Canada Dry, $75,000 shovel off sweepstakes. Here's this great illustration of a woman. One of the prizes, Disneyland. And as you'll see, I always look for Disneyland stuff because Disneyland stuff is cool. Got some Dumbo on here. Would have been contest sheets right here. What's this? Probably 1964, I would guess, or 1960. I don't know. 1960. So it's 1960. And that's the fun thing about signs is sometimes they're dated, but a lot of time you sort of figure out what's going on with them by just looking at the styles and the trends. You know, like that one, I was like, either 64 or 60. It was 60. I probably just remembered that. Oh wow, look at these. Ooh, these are great. And you know, one of the other many things about signs is they get bent. They lose pieces. They get messed up. Beautiful two-sided snap, crackle, and pop. Looking at that box, it's probably like 1977 70, 72, maybe 74. So we got Pop here. And they make Kellogg's is great because Kellogg's made just a nearly endless amount of signs. And there he is. Just you can just imagine this in the grocery store, floating up there, slowly spinning, getting everybody to want to buy Rice Krispies and make marshmallow treats. And yeah, it's just amazing these guys' feet are on here. And that's another problem with the stewardship of store displays is that they're fragile, and so you know I, some of them are in lesser condition than I got them, but I try to keep them. I try to keep them as good as I can. Beautiful Raid Bug sign, two-sided. Thing you gotta always remember about the Raid Bugs is they were not designed by Jack Davis. Everybody thinks they're designed by Jack Davis. I did for many years, and then somebody set me straight. And you can dig up the name of the illustrator, but oh my God, gorgeous, gorgeous. And then I end up a lot of signs like this, Tootsie Roll. And back when I was just a complete rabid collector, I'd want to own any sign related to candy or food or a cartoon character, from the 1950s to the, late 70s. And, Nancy, not a character I have a lot of love for, even though the strips are amazing. Ernie Bushmiller is amazing. But, we got Major League Baseball, just a lot going on. This is your classic. This is probably from 1975 or 1976. And like something like this, some weird promotion like this, the sign might be all you have, all you could ever find. I think there's also like a magazine ad that I've seen, but in the case of some stuff, the sign might be it. All you have to go off of. Here's a Disneyland one. Come live it again. Vacation at Disneyland and get a Coke. Sadly, a lot of these 70s kind of Disneyland ones are just incredibly ugly, That's a really ugly, boring sign. This one's great. Oh, man. One a day vitamins, classic product. But this guy's great. Two-sided. I think this might have had a big thing that stuck out of it. It's wood. It's masonite. So it's like, what is it? It looks like it's a 3-color screen print. So some shop somewhere screen printed all these babies, sent them out to drugstores, probably screen printed 1,000 of them or something, and then shipped these out. And that's a sign. These great kids, gotta be like 1961. Look at these. They got like these great starburst eyes. This great stylized bottle. Ugh, that's what I live for. I live for signs like that. Those are the good ones. These are the signs I do not live for. Ugh, so ugly. Terrible fonts. Terrible premium. Terrible time period for for stuff. Ugh, yuck. And here's a piece of artwork. Bought this at the flea market one day. Has a weird signature. Very particular. No idea what it is. If anybody knows what it is, let me know. Oh, this one. This one is cool. This one is cool. And this one is big. Nabisco. Chuck Wagon Value. There were all these promotions in the 60s and petering out. They started in the late 50s, into the 60s, and then petering out in the early 70s. That would be like these big brand extravaganza sales, and they would sort of do all the products, but they'd make like a giant kit for it. So it'd be like this big paper kit, and I used to have a number of them. And inside would be all these different signs, but they'd have some sort of overarching theme, like the Chuck Wagon Values come and get them. So this is for all the Nabisco products. So there might have also been um, other Nabisco directly branded things, but this one, you know, it's got a big tear in it. But look at this big cowboy purple ostrich, this big pink turtle, just this beautiful, beautiful painting. And you know, once again, this might have just been an in-store thing, and that's it. They did all this artwork and put out all this stuff for this one-time promotion that occurred, and then, you know, all that stuff would have ended up being tossed, and this is like the only sign I've ever seen from it. There's probably some other things out there. Maybe. Now this sign's tough to deal with. So it has these two gigantic things that go together. So these kind of go front and back, and then in the middle would go the giant rooster. So I can barely hold it up. It's so damn big. This is like a beautiful foil piece. These are beautiful litho pieces. Let's see if we can get a good shot of it. That's a pretty good shot of it. But you know, once again, like a giant thing. I don't know. I mean, maybe I bought this on one of my trips. Maybe I bought it off of eBay. I don't even remember. You know, it's like, how do you even take a picture of this? How do you even display this? This one crazy sign for cornflakes, which is like, you know, worst of the, I mean, not the worst of the cereals, but certainly a cereal that hard to get really excited about. But it's a crazy giant sign, double-sided. So you know, they somehow this whole thing would have attached together and would have been, you know, spinning in the rafters in the grocery store. And sometimes you get to find pictures where you see the displays. You know, mostly you see Halloween pictures, which is great. So you get to see, you know, I don't have a lot of Halloween signs left, but they, you know, they make like this corrugated cardboard that would wrap around the displays, and then they'd make little signs. Well, I have one big thing. We'll get to that. Maybe if we have time. Oh, and by the way, we're going to be premiering the second part of Jason's big interview in half an hour when I finish. I'm going to finish right up at 11, even though I started 10 minutes late. Sorry. And then we'll live premiere that, and Jason, I think, is here, and I'll be here, and we'll be answering your questions, and I'll be in chat for that. Here's a weird one. Pillsbury Doughboy bakeware sale for some sort of eco Nordic wear bake stuff. It's pretty cool. I don't know where I guess maybe they sold this stuff in the grocery store. I don't know. There's a lot of great doughboys. I used to have there's a life-size styrofoam doughboy that I had in my house for many years. Oh, really cool. I love the doughboy. I've probably said that before. I'll probably say it again on this show. I'm getting tired. It was a long night last night. Wise potato chips. Christmas owl die cut. You know, giant sign. You know, would have had like a little another little thing to somehow this folds and makes it so he stands up. We didn't have Wise potato chips, but I've got some Wise owl potato chip things, and this one's really cool. You know, because once again, it's a screen print, and screen print stuff just looks so nice. Seal test action toys, like this microscope came in Wheaties. These are the Nike missiles, which came in cereal. You know, here's a sub that came all over the place. This is a ring that came in cereal. Here's a telescope that came in Nabisco shredded wheat. So it's like Seal Test just repurposed all of these things, but this is so cool because it's like Seal Test ice cream. It's just all these great little premiums. You know, it's so cool. I love it. Here's my my compatriot that goes with my other. I could center myself a little bit. I haven't been real super centered, have I? early version, not the version I remember, but still super cool. Might be a little faded, it's a little faded down here, but it's, you know, my buddy Steve and I did a photo shoot one time, and I held this. So this one always has a really good place in my heart. It's like some article for a newspaper or something. As I said, we're gonna have a little bit of art this time. This is the original art to one of the later versions of the Cowboys and Indians Nabisco cookie boxes. Really cool. Once again, here we have, this poor art has been torn in half at some point, but really neat. Neat to find art. I love art, of course, being that I am wandering out of frame all the time. Being that I'm an artist of sorts. Do I want to turn it that way? No, I probably don't want. I don't know which way I want to turn it. I've always loved this sign. Papermate pen. I love it. I love when they have like a cartoon kid with a photorealist. Oh good, someone's trying to call me on the phone. Oh, it's my dad. Dad, I'll talk to you later. I'm in the middle of this. Stream is still working, right? Yeah, he says okay. It's die cut. It's beautiful. It's packed away in the closet, sadly. Packed away in the closet. And I mean, I should sell a bunch of this. A lot of this stuff I should be selling, but it's so hard to ship all this stuff. Ugh. Someday. Bart Starr. Here's a football player. A big Goodyear sign with these patches. Folds in half. And that's the thing about these signs. The sports ones might stand a little better chance, so contrast entry or whatever, mail away form would have been there. But all the great teams, big Bart Starr for all you big Bart Starr fans out there. I don't collect a lot of sports stuff just because I'm not a big sports guy, and sports stuff usually is expensive because there's a lot of sports guys that collect it. This one doesn't count as food related, but this is a United Airlines poster that they would have had in the office, 1968 for Disneyland when they opened the Tiki Room. This one should be in a frame on the wall. Hopefully someday that'll happen. And then there's always like terrible signs like this that only I could love. Brock's Easter candies with these hideous bunnies. Most of the time when the artwork is kind of terrible like this, I don't like the sign, but this one I kind of love because it's just, I don't know. I like holiday candy stuff. We're gonna do our holiday show probably in a month or two, and you'll see. I got rid of a lot of stuff because I had a lot of stuff, but I used to collect the Easter. I still kind of. I don't know what I collect anymore, but I used to have a whole lot of Easter egg coloring kits. I pared it down to just the ones I really love. Here's another raid sign, which is different than that other one. Oh man! Wow, we are not going to get through everything. This sign is amazing, and it's hard to deal with. So this would have been mechanical. So the head would have moved, the arms would have moved, and there would have been something in between the arms. There maybe would have been meats, a circle of meats or something, and then the eyes of little Oscar would bounce around. And then Oscar Mayer on the bottom, it's going tick, 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 and it's like a book. I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it, I love it. I love it. Mr. Clean Roly Poly. I used to have the Roly Poly. Really weird. Mr. Clean with the lemon on his chest. With the pad still attached. It's kind of two-sided. Although the one side has all these contraptions on it. Thank you contraptions. Thank you contraptions. This is a beautiful sign. For many years I had this like when you come into my apartment, it would be like right there because I love this baby so much. Jungle Book Disneykins. So we're all putting Disneykins. This one's hard to get all the glare off of. I've got my big light and I got the window coming in, so trying to get as much light as we can. And it's like would have been on a pole. Most of the poles do not survive. Who's gonna save a pole? But that's a beauty for a really really fun promotion. Nestle's Keen, which is I have a few of these jars. When I started collecting these jars, I was obsessed with these jars because I didn't have any. Then I got 2 or 3, and then I'm like, I don't have to have them all. They're really cool, but this sign shows them all, and that's kind of like having them, kind of. Star Trek: The Next Generation. Why do I have this? I don't know why I have this. I should get rid of it. Cool Trick or Treat sign. Peter Paul. Coconut Mounds, Almond Joy, Dreams. I'm an anti-coconut guy, so that never got anywhere with me. What's this? Oh, this is cool. You'll like this. So you've seen the Dr. Dolittle, the bags with the thing, but this is the sign for the Dr. Dolittle puppet kit. It's really cool. It's a pretty boring sign. Reuses I think the same art, but once again, it's the sign. I had another Dr. Dolittle sign which I sold, which I can't remember. Here's like a really cool object that lives back there. This is an original prop box from the Willy Wonka movie, when they have there's the one scene where they're moving all the Wonka bars around in the warehouse. This is one of those. This is one of the boxes. Willy Wonka, of course, incredibly seminal movie for my childhood. Very seminal. This one's cool. Totem Indian pudding cookies shipping box. So that's kind of a display, shipping box. Kind of, not really though. Funny face. I'm just like walking by. Another thing packed away with some of my art stuff. This is the original concept art for Dr. Fate's car in the Great Race. There it is. The Great Race. Beautiful, beautiful, gouache watercolor painting. Once again, another beautiful, beautiful item that should be in a frame somewhere. It's like a little Neolite shoe guy. Not food, but it's a shoe guy. How can you not want to, bottom, well, it's Goodyear, so he's like the bottom of the shoe guy. It's not even a shoe guy. He's the bottom of the shoe guy. What's this? This is Road Closed Temporarily. Engineering and Grading Contractors Association. This cool beaver advertising character. Packed away in some warehouse somewhere. This sign is really weird and it's got a lot going on. Howdy, ma'am. Glad to meet you. California Brand Meats. Try me. There's a little hot dog with his little brand. Little hot dog with his little brand. Here we go. Jack in the Box sign. Not a store display, but this would have been when you ordered a Jack in the Box way back in the day. You would drive up and there'd be this cube, and then on top would be the Jack in the Box head which had this speaker in it, and then this would be your menu board. It's always kind of pissed me off this one was broken, but you take what you can get when you're collecting this kind of stuff. And as people always say, look at the prices, 42 cents, 29 cents. Here's like a Calgon girl. Neat little die cut of her. I think we already looked at this one. So I guess I have two of those. Oh, now, whoa. Now we're getting into some of the bags. Try to go through these. These are all uncut flats of bubblegum display boxes from Tops. At one point I bought like this giant box, and it was all these. They were folded up, and you know, they'd been left over at some printer somewhere. And I cut them apart, and I've been selling them for a million years. And you know, these are all the signs from Baskin Robbins. I think I posted these a few times, and they're just like, they would just keep on coming out with new ones. Because I think they come out with a new flavor each month, and so they'd have a sign for that. I don't know if it was always a new flavor, but it'd be like a it'd be like flavor of the month. That's what I'm trying to say. And I don't know. Looks like all the art was done by 2 or 3 people. I figured, you know, there's going to be at least 12 of these a year, so they did it for years and years. And I remember going as a kid, going to Baskin Robbins and just loving that aspect of it. You know, it's just wonderful. And you know, so these were from like a big kit of all this Clorox. Yeah, it was all Clorox, and there was, you know, in this kit there were like 50 or 60 signs. And so I sold most of the kit and then just kept a few good signs for myself. That's what I always like to do, is I don't got to keep it all. Oh, a little uncut bazooka. Oh, and this was, I think, this one has this weird duck on it for Sandy Flush. Here's another one, clean up sale. And all those signs would have been in that Clorox kit. Oh, there's a cool one. We'll get to that one in a minute. There's a nice Sunshine Biscuits. This is older than most of what I collect, but I love the Sunshine Biscuit Baker guys. Really, really, really cool. Really, really cool. And look, there's even more of the Clorox stuff. This cool B-Girl. Different one, you know, different color on the other side. This side has a woman on the one side, and the other side we have like a bottle dude. Clorox bottle dude. It's like, oh cool. Always a thing that's cool. What's this? Oh man, this sounds really cool. Ooh, what is that? Oh, look at that. A hideous clown for Band-Aids. Yes. Hideous clown. Sounds like the helicopters have left. And even some more B signs. That's enough B signs. Where are we getting to? We're doing pretty good. We're getting through some stuff today. This one's packed with stuff. Try to get through it as quick as we can. Oh. Toppy, Top Value stamps. Used to buy those whenever I could. Beautiful ice cream cone. Yeah, you could spend your whole life collecting ice cream signs. Your whole life. It's a little different variant on the Sunkist, which is really cool. I always like to find, you know, the ones for the premiums. That's always, you know, that's always my go-to, is to have the actual premium signs. There's a nice Tasty Freeze, and there's T and F, the 2 little Tasty Freeze guys. And these are thin paper signs, so, you know, that's the thing, is I'll have like a thing like this that'll have just tons of signs in it. Special sale. This is a good one. This is a big winner. Frito Bandito sign. And, you know, there's the big Frito Bandito up there, but, you know, this one, I always love them. And it's like, you know, this probably went in like the top of a rack or something, I guess, maybe? I don't know. What's this? Oh, you're gonna like this one. This has always been one of my favorites. Red Ball Jets. Wow. There he is. Son alien planet. How could you not go home with a pair of those shoes? We're digging. Ah, nice one. Tasty Freeze, but we got the Eat It All ice cream cone kid who was on the cover of our book. This is a beautiful sign. Look at this baby. Tide Special, 69 cents. I think this came with a bunch of generic signs out of a barn in Canada. Yeah, haven't had a lot of time to talk about where some of this stuff may come from, because most of the time I don't even remember. This is nice. Cantaloupe. Tasty free sandwich. Like I said, endless amounts of those you could collect. You could spend a lifetime plus 2 more lifetimes and still be looking for those. So here's another one of those, as I was saying about those big promotions. So this is Brand Names Week. So we got cake sign, cornflake sign, Jello, Fig Newtons. That's pretty cool. And then here we get. So the thing about these is these would have been string signs. So it's 2 signs that are attached, and then a lot of times what I would do is what I do is I just cut them in half. I keep one, I sell the other. Here's another. This is a Libby's Gold Rush. This was another one of those big wide campaigns, which I mean I may have more stuff on that. I don't know. And here's another one. Get on the brand wagon. So it's all these different brands. Skippy. So that's back to another one of those cakes. Here's the other side of the Skippy, which I have not sold. Another cornflakes, which we already looked at. Jello, which we already looked at, and Fig Newtons. So we looked at all those. So actually, I have all those available. Nice Charlie Tuna. Charlie Tuna always did great promotions. They always did great signs. They did great premiums, but most of it would be in store. You know, maybe on the label a little bit. What is this? Wow, this is cool. Ostrich races. And this is stuff I'd find at the flea market, and I'd just be like, yep, I'm keeping that. Harvey Comics did a whole series of retailer calendars that they sent out. There's a couple of those. Yeah. This is a fun sign. It's a DQ Jet. And what do they have back there? They have a Matron Matt Mason. He's a little blurry. Hard, you know, he's blurry. But the ad guys were like, we need something. This one for a lot of fruit drinks and things. Oh man, we're getting down there a little bit. We're doing good. These are these giant Libby's Alice in Wonderland signs. There's one of these which I sold, which there's the Alice. Let's try to pick that up. It's beautiful. These are just beautiful velvety litho signs. March Hare. But I had one of these signs that was like all the characters, and it would have filled the whole wall. It was gorgeous. Cheese Whiz and Ritz. Yes, please. I accept. Oh, Barry Windsor Smith. Not a store display. Here's another one of those brand things. And you know, here's the Sugar Crisp one. I'm like, okay. And sometimes, some of the more interesting, there'll be one interesting poster in those. There'll be like a Funny Face one. Funny Face was part of that one year. Muffets cereal. This is a trolley car, which we haven't seen a lot of trolley cars, or I haven't shown you a lot of trolley car signs because they're an earlier format, and so these would have, I think they would have gone up in not the rafters, but up to the top of the trolley car, and then they just slide in there. And so they're more of a saying, Robert Williams, anyone? Oh, here's my. Here's the. I wondered where this was. It's like a original Nancy Sunday, which I haven't seen in a couple of years. And I'm just gonna throw on the floor. Sorry, Aaron Bushmiller. Grow Up. Kellogg's. We're gonna get to the bottom of this box. Lady and the Tramp Capitol Records. Fun. This is a pretty one. Barbie Carnation Malted Milk. They did this 2 years. I used to have the jars back when I collected everything like that. This would have been a whole craft circus. So they probably would have had 6, 8, 10 different animals. This is an important sign, just packed away in here. Katie Kangaroo Frosted Flakes. This would have been first year. 1952, it's dated. Beautiful. Full color. Gorgeosity. And one last Dairy Queen sign. It's a little Swiss girl that Dairy Queen would have used. We looked at this. Looked at that last week. Concept art probably for a Ford, probably for a billboard. We're gonna get to the bottom of this, and then we'll probably take out. Oh, there's a couple more over there that I want to do. This is great. This is the original art for 1974 Frosted Flakes float. Probably not Rose Parade, but still super cool. This is a Krazy Yogi Bear sign that is really thrashed. So it has this part, which is three-dimensional. Then it has the birthday cake, shows for the birthday box, and then it has another piece which is buried up there with the top of it. But it's super thrashed. And then his face is three-dimensional. It's such a great sign, but it is in such terrible condition. Campbell Kid Chef Doll. Campbell Kid stuff is not the greatest stuff, but it's kind of fun. Little peanut sign. We're getting there. Roy Rogers. Quick. Trimmed down, but sometimes they're trimmed down. Jet Puff Marshmallow. I used to have a lot more of this generic stuff. I've gotten rid of a lot of it because I still have a lot of it. Another Cheese Whiz. Can't have enough Cheese Whiz stuff because Cheese Whiz is very cool. This one would have popped out, would have been filled up. So cool. This one's KFC Christmas. Somebody found a bunch of these. Maybe not a bunch, but found a few of them. So that one shows up sometimes. This one I've seen one other time. Kix Sugar Crisp, giant sugar bear. Gotta go through this one more little pile, and that's gonna be all she wrote. Beautiful Bugs Bunny Easter. You'd think you'd see more Bugs Bunny Easter, but that's the one thing I think of it. If it's Belle, it's swell. Beanie and Cecil. Bottom's cut off. Years and years ago at the Rose Bowl Flea Market, a person came out and they had the company archives for Bell potato chips, which we were able to buy the entire thing. I remember we bought it and then we walked away and we're like, we'll come back and pick it up. And I think we walked about one more aisle and we're like, what the fudge are we doing? We're going to leave that stuff just sitting there where anything could happen. Fire, someone walks up and says, what's that stuff? I'll give you $200 more. We went back, we carted all the stuff to the car, and this was one of the greatest pieces in there. Just a stunner. It's regional. It's a, cartoon / puppet character thing. Beautiful. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Beautiful. Nice Sugar Crisp one. This is kind of sad because this is probably just a a Life magazine ad that they made into a poster, but still, it's a beautiful image made into a poster, and I'll take any beautiful image I can get. Magic Cow. Magic Cow's not a product. It was actually, wait, it is a drink. No, I don't. I think it was like a promotion where they wanted to just sell you the cups so that you could mix like quick with it. I don't know. This is a Kellogg's with the witch. Once again, there was probably like 4 or 5 different ones, but the one I kept was the witch one because that's the coolest one, or at least the coolest one I had access to. This is fun. Yeah. Used to have all those dogs. Don't have them anymore. Cool. We don't find enough Scotch tape stuff in the world, do we? And back and I think everyone has probably seen this baby. Literally one of the most disgusting things I own. It's a giant store box. So they made these giant Kellogg's boxes as store displays. And then it's got this giant die cut Tony the Tiger, full color, you know, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 color screen print die cut, multi-dimensional. The only sad thing is from the UK, and I don't collect like the UK, but good God, this, yes. Like I said, we started. That's all we're doing for today. That's all. There's still like a box or two I didn't get to, but we got to the bulk of it. You know, that's all you could do is get to the bulk of it. And the other box is buried. Whatever. We'll end with this baby, which is another funny face sign. Really cool. I don't know what to say about it. I've been talking. I've been doing a lot of talking. Hopefully you guys had some fun in chat. Hopefully you've enjoyed this one because it was exhausting. It was exhausting to set up. It's going to be exhausting to clean. But like I said, we're going to premiere Jason's thing in about 2 minutes here. Yeah, this one's, you know, as I've said a million times in this one's crazy. So it goes, this clicks in there, and then there's another little thing that goes in there where the coupons could go, and it has all the meats there, and it has this beautiful hot dog tree, you know, just what you want, a tree covered in meat for your party. It's like a Charles Phoenix extravaganza somehow. You know, somehow this candle has stayed on there and I haven't destroyed it. Good job, Dan. So, what is this? Everyone's saying some thank yous, and when I especially mesmerized by the mechanical store displays while rumming good. Yes. So, it's 10:59. I'm gonna say goodbye. I'm gonna say thank you to everybody that supports me and watches these videos and listens to me ramble and just throw imagery out there. If you need to see a better picture of anything or have any questions about anything, since I did cover maybe as much ground as anything today, just let me know. I'm always around. I'm always willing to talk about collectibles, and we're gonna finish up that show with Jason, and then next week, if all goes according to plan, which I expect it to, my guest on To Be Determined is going to be none other than Kirk Damaris, who's done a number of really cool books and has a lot to say about pop culture and roadside culture and all those super cool things that I love and I think you love. So we'll catch you later, and we'll see you in the chat, and just hold on 1 second. Bye bye.